Hello. Let's see. We're doing a YouTube live today, so give me a second just to make sure everything's working well. I would love to have a studio set up that streams to all the social channels at once, but honestly, it takes quite a bit of work. I have, let's see here. I'm 45 minutes early to this live stream, so if you're watching this in the replay, I had advertised 12:30 as a start time, but then appointments and things were getting moved around. So I wanted to still hold true to having a chat about this book today. You know, one way that I know we all grow together, and you can see I've got like plants in my living room, right? So I'm constantly thinking about how things grow. And it's a lot of consistency, right? It's consistency of showing up, it's consistency of watering ourselves, fertilizing ourselves, giving care and attention to the things that matter. And so that's how I see group dynamics and group discussions. They're a way for us to connect, a way to stay consistent with connecting, a way to challenge each other through ideas, through um, uh, knowledge, to look at things from different perspectives, to take time to consider how something may appear true to us, but also what does it look like to someone else. And so the book club for B-Side every month runs through a book. Last year we did 7 months, 7 books. This year there's 12 months. We're going to do 12 books. We may take a summer break, but probably not. And we read quite a few really amazing books last year, but it was all in person, and I really enjoyed working with everyone and meeting with everyone in person. But I also kind of felt like I was leaving something on the table, and what I felt like I was leaving on the table was this opportunity to discuss these books with the wider digital world. So I'm going to give you a heads up on the book that we're reading for February. I just invite you to go ahead and pick it up if you are interested. It's this book. It's called The 7-Level Framework for Mastery in Life and Business. I've already started it. It is a lot of very powerful principles that I've been introduced to in other ways. If you're a Dr. David Hawkins fan, Power versus Force, if you've ever studied his map of consciousness, this has a map very similar to that. And specifically, this is about energy leadership. In fact, I think the name of the book is Energy Leadership, and the 7-Level Framework is the subtitle. But being able to manage yourself and being able to manage your routine, your schedule, your goals, your business, your team through your energy is really what this book is all about. So if you're interested, read that book in the month of February, and then hop back on here for a discussion when the time is right. That'll be the last Friday of every month that we have a online discussion group. Let's see here. So that will be February 28th, and we'll plan on doing that in about this time of day, the 11 or 12 o'clock hour Central Time. All right, guys. Well, today, the topic of our discussion is the January B-Side book, and that was this book called Play, How It Shapes the Brain, Opens the Imagination, and Invigorates the Soul. And I'm just going to hit a few highlights from Stuart Brown. That's really the intention of these live streams, is to give you a taste of what the book is all about, why it impacted me so much, and what I'm going to do with it moving forward. So he starts the book off talking about how play is obviously something that is enjoyable. That if you're doing play well, then you're going to be having fun. You're going to be having a good time with it. That play is something that energizes us and enlivens us. Kind of a top quote from the book is that play, that humans are the biggest players of all in the animal species, and that we're built to play and we're built through play. And as I pondered that for myself, I definitely felt that was true. I felt like, hey, yeah, I'm built to play. I'm built to enjoy life, to enjoy living, to enjoy decision making, to enjoy the way that I move about through my day to day. And that, yeah, being built through play also has proven true in my life. To try something new, to experience something new, and to approach it with a playful attitude has been one of the ways I personally have tried new things. And even this live stream, for example, it's like, yeah, this is new for me. I'm having fun with it. It's not perfect, but what is perfect? And getting out there and trying something and doing something new is always going to involve a certain amount of play because well, and you'll see here in just a second that play involves anticipation. And that means I don't know what's coming next, but I'm still going to go play. I'm still going to go have fun with the next steps around what it is I want and what it is I'm going after. And even though I don't know exactly that everything's going to go according to my plan, if I go in with a playful attitude, then I can begin to be built through this playful act. And something that I'm glad we started off the year of 2025 with this, because bringing play back into entrepreneurship, bringing play back into our work, bringing play back into our careers and into our just every day, I think is extremely important. There's all kinds of ways and different models of business owners, teams, the dynamics. Are you in person? Are you digital? Are you doing this by yourself? Are you doing it with a group? How much control do you have over the end result? How much control do you have over the journey? What factors are outside of your control entirely? All of those things as a business owner or a business leader can become overwhelming. They can become stressful. But when you choose to take the approach and the lens and to look at life and business through the lens of play, I do think everything gets a lot easier. So Stuart Brown in the book, he is clear that one of the most important factors about being a fulfilled human, and I think we can all agree, is that we need to remember what play is. We need to recall that when we were kids, when we were children, we had a really good time playing a lot of times, right? Everyone has different backgrounds, and some kids were suppressed and repressed from being able to play. But even in really dire circumstances, kids tend to find ways to enjoy themselves. They tend to find ways to play. So he said, if you want to live fulfilled, which I think if you're watching this, you do, that one, you got to remember what play is. And then two, you need to make it a part of your daily life. And so how do you make it a part of your daily life when there are demands, when there are routines, when you got to take care, you want to take care of your health, you want to take care of your relationships, you want to take care of your business, you want to get enough sleep, you want to eat well, you want to make sure you move your body, you want to make sure you invest appropriately, you want to make sure you're making enough money. There's always these things that we're doing, but to make play a part of our daily life, it's a very, very, very important part for feeling fulfilled. So a few benefits of play that Stuart Brown mentioned in this book. One, he says that play gives you the ability to become smarter. Play gives you the ability to become smarter. It really speaks for itself. Number two, he says to learn that one of the benefits of play is that you learn more about the world than your genes alone can teach you. You were born with genes and DNA, and you were born with information about how the world works in your body, in your cells. And then you were also raised or domesticated into seeing life a certain way. But when you go play, especially as an adult who understands what play is and understands that the world is constantly changing and evolving, that play actually gives us insight into how the world works and to look for ways that you can get things done that you weren't taught in a book or you weren't taught in school. You weren't taught, through a YouTube video, that the actual experience of being in a physical human body and going out and playing will give you more knowledge than your genes alone can teach you. And then third, the great benefit of play, he says, is to adapt to a changing world. And part of that adaptation that we need to have as humans is being able to say, today is a different day than yesterday, that this conversation I'm in with this human or this person is a different kind of conversation than the one I was just in earlier. And so that element of play, allowing yourself to adapt to a changing world, that element of play gives you the freedom to change. It gives you the freedom to change your mind. It gives you the freedom to pivot, to shift, to take on a different approach, right, to the way that you go about business, the way that you go about life. And so, yeah, those three benefits of play. One, it helps you become smarter. And by the way, in the book, he gives all the kind of the research, and he's comparing humans in a lot of ways to other mammals and animals and species, right, that also play. And he's taking all this scientific research and coming up with these benefits, right? So one, play makes you smarter. Two, play gives you the ability to learn more about the world than your genes alone could teach you. And then three, play gives you the ability to adapt to a changing world. Let's see. He goes through. It's interesting because he talks a lot about play as a kid and giving yourself the opportunity and the space to remember what lit you up when you were a kid. What did you enjoy when you were a kid? Who were you, right? What were the things that caught your attention, that caught your energy, that you could just become so immersed in and playful in that you lost track of time? And so he really encourages us to take our play history, and that's by just setting time aside to reminisce a little bit, you know? When I set time aside to do this, it became clear to me that one of the ways I really enjoyed play as a kid was through my imagination. You know, I would go outside and I would create scenarios or stories of things that were happening, and I would act them out or dream them out, daydream them out. Whether I was reading a fiction book, hunkered up in like, a little treehouse situation that I had built for myself, or whether I was, shooting hoops outside, imagining and envisioning, I was in like the WNBA, or maybe I was even coaching the WNBA. These are all things I remember when I started looking back at my play history. What are some of the things that I really had fun with as a kid? So in that same vein, he says that every person on earth has a play personality. That the way you enjoy play may be a little different than the way I enjoy play. And so understanding our play personality is an important part of being able to open up our imagination and use play for the greater benefits of enjoying life and living a fulfilled life. The 9 play personalities he mentions: 1, the joker; 2, the kinesthete. Kinesthete, someone who moves a lot. 3, the explorer; 4, the competitor; 5, the director; 6, the collector; 7, the artist creator; and 8, the storyteller. So, each one of those has its own story about what makes that particular play personality. Out of those 8, personally, I, was really sitting with it and thinking like, am I a joker? No, not really. Am I a kinesthete? Yes, I love movement. I feel great moving. I love keeping things moving. So I think kinesthete for me is one of my play personalities. The explorer, adventuring into new territory, exploring the unknown. Maybe that's you. The competitor, right? Someone who just gets like really, really excited about competing with others or competing in some type of structured game. Those people who get really into their board games or their card games, and they're like 100%, like I've got to win. That's a play personality. The director, someone who enjoys bringing things together and making things happen, right? Whether it's like a director for plays, or a director for teams, or a director for businesses, or a director for music, right? That person who can put all of those things together and make something happen. That is a form of play. The collector, also a form of play, a personality for this topic. The collector, I'm not one, but I have one in my life. And it is a form of play. It is a enjoyment to collect things, and the art. Even I think the artist creator personality goes with the collector as well. It can, that you appreciate certain things. You bring certain things together. The artist creator, you're actually creating, right? You're putting music out. You're putting art out. You're putting words out. You're putting content, right? Whatever those forms of creation are, allowing it to be a form of play, not just a form of work that needs done. And then 8, the storyteller. And that's pretty self-explanatory. Stuart Brown, in the book, he says, if we stop playing, our behavior becomes fixed. So being able to give ourselves the freedom to play also guarantees that we will not become fixed in our behavior and miss out on ways that we can continue to evolve and adapt to the ever-changing world around us, to the needs of the public, the clients that we serve, the colleagues that we have, the team members that we bring on. If we stop playing, we're going to miss out on opportunities for the future. One quote he mentioned was that the opposite of play is not work, right? He talked a lot about that. There was a whole chapter dedicated to this. The opposite of play is depression. So it's not like play on one side and then, work hard, play hard. You've heard that terminology. It's not that. This concept that I'm inviting you into, that Stuart Brown through this book invited me into, is weaving play and work together. In fact, he said on many occasions that, we often say we're working together. Maybe we should change that word to we're playing together. How do we play together in a way that creates the result that we needed to create, what we thought we needed to work for? How do we actually play for it? So it's more of a mindset shift, or a mindset choice about how we go about our work. But if the opposite of play is depression, then you can guarantee that those times where you're feeling depressed, you probably have a low play score, right? You're probably not experiencing play to the degree that you really could be. And finding small ways to invite that back into your life can turn that around pretty quickly. He mentions that play is called recreation because it makes us new again. Play recreates us, and it recreates our world. So being willing every week, every morning, as you begin your day, to invite an element of play into your life, into your perspective, into your planning, into your strategizing, into your execution, into your operations, will guarantee not only that you have a good time, but that you actually are recreating and inviting in new energy that is going to give you the opportunity to create in more alignment with what you want to create for the world. Let's see here. A couple more quotes, and then I'll get into how to get back to play and give you some tidbits from the book. He said, when the going gets tough, the tough go play. So if you're running into a hard time, if you're feeling stuck around your work or around what it is you're doing with your business, go play. Go outside. Go back to one of your play personalities, right? Do you need to make a joke? Do you need to go move? Do you need to go exploring something? Do you need to go putting your skill set to work in a way, or to play in a way that is just kind of more simple to execute, so that you can feel again, right? You can feel fulfilled again. You can feel alive again. And when you start moving through that, it's amazing what kind of doors begin to unlock for us mentally and even physically in terms of the opportunities that come our way. So when the going gets tough, the tough go play. So if you're someone who considers yourself a hard worker, someone who's committed to your cause, to your business, to your mission, I just encourage you to make sure you're taking time to go play if and when you start to feel stuck. And then the other quote he mentioned here was from someone else. It wasn't Stuart Brown specifically, but he said, whenever I'm stuck, I just try to imagine what someone smarter than me would do, and then I do that. So if that's something that you've ever run into, then maybe just take on that exercise for a second. All right, 2 ways to jumpstart play. 1, physical activity. So the body remembers what the mind has forgotten. So if you need to do some jumping jacks to get your body moving, if you need to Make sure you take a few deep, breaths and do some like really kind of exert your exhale, right? To kind of come back into your body. If you need to go on a bike ride, if you need to go on a walk, do something physically to jumpstart play. And that will work really, really well for you. And then the second way to jumpstart play is to take a journey back into the past and look for ways that you can create avenues for play that work for you in the present. So, what has worked for you in the past that could be invited into the present? Maybe you have to go back all the way to childhood. What felt really alive and creative and playful then? Or maybe you go back to your teenage years or your 20s, or maybe you just go back to last month, oh, remember when we did that thing? It was so fun. It was a good time. It was a great time. I had fun with it. You're going to go back to the past and think of a time that was playful and enjoyable and pull that activity into the present, to begin to recreate that feeling that you had experienced before. Play is a very personal thing. It is, in this book, he talks about not just your play history, and everyone's play history is different, but your play personality, and everyone's play personality is different. Although those 8 that I mentioned are very common and kind of like archetypes, so to speak, of different play personalities. But yeah, play is a personal thing. So getting to know yourself in terms of what you enjoy, what feels like play to you, is a really important part of jumpstarting that play. This isn't just about feeling fulfilled, although what could be more important than that in a lot of ways? It's also about being true to your purpose, feeling powerful in who you are as a human, as someone who is here on planet Earth for a reason. So he said, when people are able to find their sense of play in their work, they become truly powerful figures. This is when you're not letting stress, anxiety, worry, judgment about what other people think impact your decisions. Instead, you are playing and you feel and are fully alive in that play while you work. And that power begins to compound, and that energy begins to compound, and you're able to make a really big difference in the work that you're doing. All right, so how to get back to play. He gives 7 tips. I'm going to leave us with this today. How to get back to play. 1, take your play history. So if you haven't done that yet, which if you haven't read the book, you probably hadn't even heard of doing this, but take your play history. This is how it worked for me. I took 10, 15 minutes, got my journal out, just started jotting down things that I remember enjoying as play when I was a kid. That's all that exercise is. It's super simple. It should be really fun, actually. And yeah, so take time, 10, 15 minutes, take your own play history. Number 2, expose yourself to play. Get outside, like go watch a ball game, go hang out with people who are doing something playful, start a game night at the house, or, find ways to connect digitally for play. Expose yourself to play. Number 3, give yourself permission to be a playful beginner. When we go to start something new, having a play mindset is going to be important, because otherwise we might start something new, it gets hard, and then we just stop because it was hard and it wasn't fun, and we felt like we weren't good at it, and we feel like we should just stop. But if you give yourself permission to be a playful beginner and to get through the awkward parts of the beginning of anything that you're trying new, and allow yourself to see play as an exploration when you're starting something new, then you're going to gain a lot of confidence around that, right? You're going to allow yourself to fail because you're playing and you're learning. It sucks to be a beginner again, I think, like no one wants to be an adult looking like they don't know what they're doing when they're starting something new. But everyone is a beginner at something at some time. So unless we're willing to be a beginner, we're not going to let ourselves get through the awkward stage of growth, and we'll be stuck with what we had instead of what we want. So just allowing ourselves to be playful, allowing ourselves to be that exploratory beginner, and feel awkward, even be awkward, until we're on the other side. Number 4, how to get back to play. Remember that fun is your North Star. If it's not fun, maybe ask yourself, why are you doing it? And he talks a lot about like the nuance of fun, okay? And how just because something doesn't feel fun in the moment doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. Fun is your North Star, and you don't always have to head north, right? Your life, you want to be fun, you want to be playful, but there will be things you have to do along the way that may not point exactly to fun, right? And so yeah. So just remember, getting back to play also involves some discipline at times and making good choices and healthy choices. And yes, you will feel alive and fulfilled and like you're having fun, but you won't feel it 24/7. There's going to be things that feel hard and awkward on the way. Number 5 out of 7, how to get back to play: be active. Be active, stay active, keep your mind active, keep your communication and relationships active, keep your body active, all really important stuff. Number 6, free yourself of fear. I know that is a big statement just to say, but you can do it. You could just say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to let fear be the dictator of my actions. If I feel afraid of something or anxious about something, I can do it anyway. And that's okay. And I can still have fun with embracing this kind of fear. In fact, I was told early on in my real estate business that, fear and excitement, or like anxiety and excitement, show up physically the same way in your body. They feel very, very, very similar, if not the same. It's really just a choice as to whether or not I'm seeing it as this is exciting or I'm anxious, right? So when you begin to feel nervous, that's a good thing. It's a good thing. It means you care. My friend Shayla told me that yesterday. I said, I'm feeling kind of nervous about something. And she was like, well, that means you care. And I'm like, yeah, it does mean I care. So if you're feeling nervous, that's okay. If you're feeling fear, that's okay. But free yourself of its binds and do the thing anyway, and see how you can embrace play at that time. And then 7, he says, to bring back play into your life, nourish your mode of play. Be with people who nourish your mode of play, and just have a good time doing it, right? Do it for yourself, do it with others, and watch not just your life, but the life of those around you, your family members, your team, your colleagues, your neighbors, the people, your community, the people you interact with. If you start playing and you nourish your mode of play, and then you go around and be with people, and you also they're nourishing their play, and we're all playing together in a positive, healthy, mature, wise kind of way, then the sky's the limit. We can do anything and create anything we want. So that's the book Play. February's book is this book, Energy Leadership: The 7-Level Framework for Mastery in Life and Business. It reads a little bit like a story, so that's fun. Definitely encourage you guys to pick this book up, and then we'll have a live stream discussion on this at the end of February as well. All right, it was super cool to be here with y'all. If you catch the replay, leave little comments in the chat. Would mean a whole lot to me, and I will see you guys soon.